So somebody was like, Austin Holleman said that he don't want to be a passport bro. So I had to analyze this, and it's not gonna be a long ass video. So man of tomorrow, people like you shout him out a lot because he's the only he's telling the truth. Man of tomorrow said in his live stream, I forgot which live stream, that these dudes come into your movements and they destroy it. And then they bounce and they go to another movement, right? This is what Austin Holleman did. He blew up the spot of Passport Bros, rocked the banner, walked around with the banner, and made himself a public enemy in Brazil. Now, there's some kind of investigation on him, which I'm like, if you get to the point where a government is investigating you, then you fucked up. It ain't other passport bros, because there's a black man right now that's about to be executed not right now, but he's awaiting to be executed because he killed a Chinese woman. He killed his ex-girlfriend who lied to him and said she basically cheated on her husband with him. He couldn't let it go. And instead of him letting it go and let the husband do whatever he needed to do, he decided to get jealous and he stabbed the girl and raped her. And he was a dude from LA. Oh, is China saying all black men can't come to China? No, they took care of it. Just like black dudes got kicked out of Ty Larson or whatever that dude name is. That basketball player, he got kicked out of China. You think that other black men there? This dude was trying to be a passport player, and he got caught in his own player bullshit. That's what happened. So now, the passport thing don't look so good anymore. He wants to he want to bounce from passport bros, which I said good riddance. Passport bros, I can tell you this from the start. Austin Holleman was a good spokesperson if he would have stayed in his lane. But what he tried to do is make a leadership role at 23 years old. See, that's the thing that I didn't get, right? Is that everybody, some of the passport bros, some of the real passport bros was telling him to calm down because they was going to make them look bad. Also, they knew that he was trying to co-op it, like Man of Tomorrow say, and try to be a leader. Man of Tomorrow was absolutely right. They come into your movement and they think that they can lead it better than you. He hit viral, and then we had the gender war shit. Now, Austin Holleman said that passport bros are paying for sex and blah, blah, blah. He don't even know the term of men who travel overseas for sex. They're called mongrels. Mongrels. They're mongrels. Mongrels. These are the guys who go over. Their whole thing is paying for sex overseas and taking videos and everything else. There's a dude on here. I forgot his name. I used to follow him. He's a mongrel. He openly says that he pays for it. He doesn't deny it. He says he pays for it. But nobody came after him. They wasn't saying he was sex trafficking and this and this and that. Only when he came into this shit and blew up the spot when he should have never been doing. The dude is arrogant as shit. He screenshots his own, and nobody talks about that with this kid. He screenshots his own tweets like he's saying something profound. Y'all don't notice that he has all in his community tab. I ran into so many passport players in his comment sections. I never ran into that many people with anybody traveling channel, other than black dudes who say they got game and swag and shit like that. This guy Ever since he had to leave Brazil and he blew up Brazil, he don't look happy. He don't like the Asian women. He don't like Asian women in general. He don't like them. He was more lively in Brazil than he was in any of the Asian countries he traveled to. And the other thing that made guys like me mad is that somebody like myself had to save up a whole bunch of money in order to get and be like, okay, I want to do this. And then something comes up and be like, oh, I can't travel. Oh, I can't do this. I got to save this money. I got to do this. I got to take care of this for this couple years. While this guy strolled in and basically get cash apps for basically from the same movement of people who he now disassociate himself with. So let's hear him in his own words, and I'm gonna break this down for him.
Somebody says sounds like you do care. Let me read a couple of these comments. Yeah, if you don't speak the language in a lot of these places, you will end up paying at some point. We got about 100 unread comments, so let me see.
And mind you, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's actually saying because he doesn't speak Thai. He don't speak Viet Cong. He doesn't speak Vietnamese. He doesn't speak any of these. So he went to these countries, and you want to think that you're not going to pay for it? You don't even know Spanish. You don't even understand it. So he think that I'm Austin Holleman. I can go into any country and get many women. And it didn't work out in the Philippines. It didn't work out in, I forgot, another country he went to. He was striking out multiple times. Because that passport player shit don't work in some of these countries.
A lot of comments coming through right now, so I'm going to read super chats. So if you want to read if you want me to read your comment, as far as I know, we are just dudes that travel. And there is so-called a name for it. There's a name for dudes that travel.
And this is what I'm saying about him co-opting a group that he didn't know shit about. He didn't talk. None of his videos ever talked about. And mind you, I follow him. I wasn't paying attention to him like that. And I said, I know what he was about from the very beginning. I'm like, okay, but he represent the younger generation that he could have been something where it's like, yo, be an Austin Holleman. Don't deal with these motherfuckers over here. If he would have kept his nose clean. There could be people at 19 years old who said, hey, I want my experience to be fresh and new all over the world. I don't want my experience to be this bullshit over here. I'm going. So he did his little tour on panels and talking about is that bad and this and that. No hating about that. I was like, go get your money, do your thing, young guy. But then he got so arrogant with it. And then he co-opted a whole bunch of stuff. He never talked about Charles Tyler. He never talked about all the other traveling men before him. He just made it about him. Thinking that he knows what he's talking about. So.
And that just so happened to be passport bros. But there's no, what am I the leader or the post office or something? Anyway, appreciate that super chat. The Art of Will says, just like that one slick talking travel OG who was a lick in Colombia, I promise Kings not to drop his name. Yeah. I don't know what story you're talking about, but I know what you're talking about. I appreciate that super chat. Keep doing your thing, bro. I appreciate that $10 super.
See, and this is the funny thing about this, right? This Dirty Mac and shit is basically Austin Holleman crowd. I never seen anybody in traveling, like at least like 30, 40 dudes that travel that I followed through 2014. It was never this type of dirty Mac, and those dudes would get kicked out. Oh yeah, man, you paying for stuff? Block. Get them out of here. Stay on your side. Stay here if you want to. They tried this shit in Charles Tyler group, and they was getting kicked out left and right. Guys was posting their wives, and these dudes was trying to go in their chat. Oh, I'm gonna come to Brazil and put it on you. And then the husband came out and said, yes, you gonna try, and you gonna get your ass beat over here. You won't got your boys here. You gonna get your ass whipped here. And these dudes wouldn't try that shit. But in Austin Holleman's crowd of people, you got all these players, you got all these thugs, you got all these people who, yeah, Austin Holleman, man, I'm the best nigga in the East and the West, man. Yeah, nigga, I got the game and the swag. None of the women could resist my game and swag all over the nation, all over the world. I can go into the Middle East and Afghanistan and pull up 19 women. I can go to Dubai and pull all the women off the princes, man, because that's how much swag I got. In reality, it would never happen. But let's hear him talk.
Yeah, we got another. Let's see. Russ, appreciate this super chat. But I don't usually, if a woman likes you, you don't even have to take her on a date. So if you consider time paying.
So if a woman likes you, and he using this American bullshit to going overseas. This is why he failed. If she likes you, she's not gonna require you to do much. So cheap stuff, yeah, it's gonna be cheap. You can get away with a lot more than other guys if she likes you. But you're not gonna completely free from it.
Then at that point, you're just trying to be right. At that point. Because I'm paying my time sitting here talking to y'all right now.
Yeah, and then you asking for super chats. This is why I said this young dude don't know what the fuck he's talking about, man. Yes, you are making your time, and this is why you ask them for super chats. People's time equals money. The moment people can work, their time is money. And it depends on how much money they think their time is worth. And how much money people willing to pay for their time. So, yeah.
I pay time to walk to the gym. That is crazy. First of all, that's illegal. But second, do you think any other woman like to say, oh, at all? That's really not a good look. And I would never do something like that. You know why? Because that's how you run off of every other woman in the future. Like to say, oh, you're going to pay for it regardless. That's not sex workers. But again, I'm going to make this clear. I do not promote that. I don't even do that. But another thing that was brought to my attention.
So he came into a movement he don't understand and don't know about Mongols. It's not illegal to tape people because guess what? If you know how many adult entertainers go to Colombia to shoot porn? You know how many? A lot. They go to Thailand. The white boys got little productions to shoot sex workers in Thailand. There's guys that are in. There was guys that used to go to Cuba and pick up women and have a documentary showing women, and they would post them. Some of them would be illegal, some of them wouldn't be. You got white dudes going to Africa. You got white dudes in Africa posting their sex page. I mean, it's all over. It's happening all fucking over. But it's not illegal. And you're not going to run off other girls. What are you talking about? Because if you were the man, then you would have never got this heat in Brazil. Trust me when I say this, there's so many men who came before Austin Holleman with the Brazil. And they came big. Charles Tyler was one of them. Do you think a feminist came after Charles Tyler? You have to give them something for them to come after you. And they came after you. That's the he's a kind of
is that you have some passport bros that are secretly, and I seen proof of it, and I know this happens because it's been happening for decades. It's probably since cameras first came out, people have been doing this. I don't know what it is about certain dudes that are feeling the need to record women in the bedroom. That shit is creepy as hell.
And here we go. Everybody who sat back and act like Austin Holleman was the savior. Like I said, I gave this dude his flowers at, him doing his shit when he was young, right? But then everybody who basically who talked about him somehow got backlash for it. Now he calling passport bros creepy. But after what? I think he had a tattoo of saying passport bro. He got a tattoo with a passport on his body. This is what happens. I'm gonna, at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you how you don't let Austin Holleman or any of these fucked up dysfunctional niggas, player game niggas, come to your movement when you create it. I'm gonna give you some tips about that.
I don't even want a woman to do that to me. That's not a good look at all. That's really not a good look. And I would never do something like that. You know why? Because that's how you run off of every other woman in the future.
Dude, you're completely shut off from Brazil because you was taping people. I went back and looked at some of these videos, and some of these girls was actually they looked awkward. None of them felt anything. Like, there was girls, he was saying the wrong shit in Portuguese. He was sitting there with his shirt off. He wasn't making none of the stuff comfortable. And I think some of these girls in his videos was prostitutes. Because the women who did sleep with him, they're not coming forward. They're not helping Stephanie. They're not helping her. The funny part about this whole thing, and I said it, this is me, not sticking up for him, but making it facts, is that when this feminist chick, she probably tried to find all the women that he slept with. And they probably told her, get the fuck out my face. I don't want to be a part of this. And big up to the women in Brazil standing up for themselves. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want your money. I don't want this thing because you fucking it up for us. I want more men. I want more American men to come over here. I don't want to just deal with Brazilian men. I hear that sentiment a lot too. Just like how we say the same shit. I don't want to deal with American women. There's women overseas who say, I don't want to deal with Filipino men. Or I don't want to deal with Thai men. I want to deal with American men. They want something new. The Brazilian women like, no, fuck that. You married. You are in a good middle class neighborhood. Why the fuck would I let you give me a piece of bread money and then I'm going to be broke later on? I want to deal with more better men. Oh, you better. No, get out of my face. And they walked. Because none of the victims of Austin Holleman came through yet. The so-called victims. Remember, this was so-called sex trafficking and all this. How the fuck can one person be a sex trafficker? How can you? Keep up your fucking lies, you stupid fucks. How the fuck is a guy who's so-called socially awkward can go and commit a crime in another country without getting caught by other criminals in that country? Do you really think with all the gangs in all these other countries, and I know about at least 20 or 30 of them in each region, because I do my research unlike Austin Holleman, do you really think that they would let an American come in their place and sex traffic their girls without a cut or without getting their head blown off. Ask Timothy Reed. I don't mean to bring him up like that. Rest in peace. But Timothy Reed stepped on some toes in Colombia and got put down because somebody hired a gang or somebody hired a hitman and said, we got to get this dude out of here. He had no tax on him. I'd said it back in the day. He was kicking people out. He was doing all this extra stuff. And they said, get him out of here. I don't believe he was set up. I believe that he was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Then somebody called their family up and said, hey, get rid of this guy. Get rid of this gringo. He putting us in risk. Or one of their people, one of their families, the people he kicked out was like, yo, I'm going to get rid of him for you. Because he don't want you to stay.
Imagine if a woman found out you were recording her. Content is assumption.
So, and you see he got a hat saying it's just that bad. He came in to be a cult leader instead of just being a soldier and waiting for his turn for him to be a captain. And there's levels to this shit. Like myself, I don't consider myself some big leader or none of that stuff. I'm still in the army of the red pill or whatever. I'm not one of the faces and none of that. I put in work. But I wouldn't consider myself the big leader or none of that stuff. Not because of my numbers. And I can say, oh, I'm a leader and stuff. Trust me. I got swinged at by the FBI. I showed y'all that. I got swinged at by MTO. The black site, black women site, they targeted the shit out of me. E Hollywood follows me. I think coincided with that. And if I would have let that 5 minutes of fame and milked that shit, I would have been in the category of some shit. So I went viral just like Auston Holleman did. The difference between me and him is that I knew that once they did videos about me, I had to tighten a lot of shit up. So they caught me off guard, and then they send the feds at me. So your boy Auston Holleman is lying about paying for sex. So I'm trying to find that I'm trying to find that comment. After TikTok video, that dude with the Asian wife hitting his car with a broomstick, chasing, talking about passport bros we losing. I knew it was over. That was bound to happen because it's about visuals. So after that TikTok video of that dude with the Asian wife hitting his car with a broomstick, I'm trying to find that. I've been traveling since I was 19. Unfortunately, like it or not, fair or not, we are judged by the actions of a few. I'm trying to find that shit. You got that passport bro tat. That shit was goofy, my boy. Okay, here we go. So somebody said that Kate is a worker. The girl he was in Brazil, I mean in Thailand with, that he still got videos. I'm gonna go back right there. So let's see right here. He's Kat. The girl in Thailand that he was with was a worker. She was asking me for bread when I was there. And also I also laugh aloud, he was paying for pee. Also, stop lying, Austin. She definitely been that type. I knew why you capped in Austin. Tell the truth. So, and somebody else said in one of his comment sections said that him and his boys went to Thailand, and the same place that Austin Holleman met Kate is the same place they met Kate, and they all took turns with her. No, yeah, they all took turns with her, and Kate was actually in another video with other passport bros. So he was paying for sex with Kate and pretending like she was his girlfriend. So this chick right here, who was mushing him in his face,
Hello YouTube. So in this video for orange juice, we did how many shrimp po' boys December the 5th.
where's she at?
We gonna show.
So that's Kate, who is pretty much a worker. See, if I'm gonna pay for something if I'm gonna pay for sex, man, I'm gonna pay the whole fucking yard. This is why I say it's better to pay for it overseas than it is over here. Because you get the full girlfriend experience when you go overseas. If you want a lot of traveling bros, I'm gonna tell you this secret. A lot of traveling dudes be paying women to be their tour guide, but they also pay them for sex on the side too. Very few guys, when they come over, when they just now start going over there, it's an incentive. Paying them is an incentive to not set them up. As long as this girl, see, this the thing about the game and swag and bullshit. Women are not impressed overseas with your fucking game. They don't want your dick side. They don't care about your pleasure. They care about their pockets and they care about the next day. They want to have as much fun, and they want to live as much. They want to do as much stuff they want to do in one day as they possibly can, because some of them know they might not live to see the next day, or they have a certain kind of, it's a certain type of environment that they're in. I know plenty of guys who overseas who pay for it, but they told me straight away, this girl gonna cook for you, she gonna be cleaning, she gonna be right there beside you, and you pay initially the first time you pay. But the fact is, all everything y'all doing together, that's part of the pay. That's part of the program. You're not paying out of pocket anymore. She's with you because you're an experience. It's no longer you're paying her anymore. Unless y'all go on a date or anything like that. You're there. That's your girl for there. Now, there's guys out here who do go out with women. Remember that dude, the African dude, when he had an Asian girl? I think she was from the Philippines or somewhere else. I think she was from Thailand. And she exposed him. I gotta show you that dude. I'll show you that situation. Let me show you another traveling dude who had an Asian chick and, they broke up and whatever. But your boy Austin Holleman pretty much lying and say he ain't paying for it. At least I'll be up front and be like, yeah, I'm paying for it. I don't care. You already think less of me. So, let's see if Austin Holleman was talking about passport bros when everybody was going through that shit back in the day. Remember, 3 years ago, Passport Gate was a thing. So, let's see what Austin Holleman was talking about. Remember, he said he was traveling. He was traveling this whole time. And he was making traveling videos this whole time. But I don't see no traveling videos. 12 years ago. Let's not do that. 2 years ago. That's when the passport stuff happened. This is... Let's see. This is 2020. August 28th. This was... Passport Gate was happening during this time. It got restarted. Where Austin Holleman was at. Where was he at? I mean, where was he at? All he was talking about was barbering. This is it. And his channel wasn't really as successful. So, money makes you attractive. So he was trying to be a dating coach and failed that, and then decided to pick up Passport Bros. And he hit the lottery with Passport Bros. Followers matters more than you think. Followers matter more than you think. Don't sweat people. How to be successful. Why I stopped posting haircut videos. Confidence body language. So he was trying to be a barber, a dating coach, and it didn't work out, and he decided to take up Passport Bros. Why should you book online? All this was barber stuff. How to get women in Brazil. Brazil destroyed American for me. So he went to Brazil one time and thought he was an expert in Brazil. This is his catalog. I'm not lying. This is a track record. So he came to Passport Bros because he didn't have anything else. Co-opt the movement, and then when he had too much heat, disassociate himself because he don't want to be looked like a loser weirdo like the Passport guys, even though he was called a loser and weirdo anyway by the anti-passport people. So I'm gonna try to find that video of the guy. Let me try to find it. You know, this is why I say I'm happy I'm not outside or whatever walking, because if I didn't have it, I'll probably be having you probably see my screen move and everything else. Shit. What is his name? I swear I got that dude's name down. I kept him there. He a traveling dude. Here we go. I am Mulu. I am Mulu. Girlfriend. So, this traveling guy be asking for money from people too. He's an African dude. And he pays for women. Because he always seemed to have a girl next to him. He pays them. I don't think he pays them for sex, but he pays them to be in a video with him and tells them about his followers. So I found it, man. Let me get it. So here we go. There's another traveling dude. So remember this guy from years ago? He picked up a girl from Thailand, and basically they had a tiff with each other. This is the girl right here. Her name was Bo. This was in Thailand.
I just got my $724 payout and a new credit score. When I found self, my life changed.
Being in a relationship was kind of to do a vacation with your family.
So this guy, you know, he got played by this Asian chick right here. Her name was Bo. I think she's Thailand. She pretty much wanted to use him to travel. I don't think she could afford to travel, or she was traveling. It took her longer to travel than he did. So she should die to shack up with him. Now, she got off, she basically got a come up off of painting him as the bad guy and her as the good woman in the situation. And basically got donations and stuff like that, but I think she died down. People don't take her seriously no more, and people went back to rocking with him. He also had a situation in Colombia. This ain't the first time that a lot of traveling men had problems that they should have just paid a girl and just be done with it. But these guys think it's wrong talking about game and swag like that shit's gonna hold up. The women overseas don't get paid by the government. They don't get taken care of by the government. The government let them stand on their own. That's the difference between developing countries and first world countries. First world countries take care of the women and let them do whatever they want and still take care of them. Developing countries, these women have kids. There's no child support or, you know, government assistance or anything like that. Ain't none of that. The government don't take care of single moms. They don't give them free money. They let them stay right there in the middle of the street without anything, right? So, see, as you see right here, he always have a girl beside him. And you know the reason why he pays these girls off. Okay, you be in my video, you get paid, and if we can shack up, we shack up. This was the girl. Now let's see this music video. And I know this hurt him because he thought that this girl was really into him, but she ended up turning on him. And was she from Cambodia? Malo Bo. What's her name again? Bo. Okay, Bo. Here we go. Remember, this is 2 years ago. She came back, and let's hear it.
At Domino's, you can get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you...
As I said before, a lot of people are capping about having game and swag. A lot of these women don't use game and swag because a lot of these women, it's not because they're dirt poor or anything else. Their government funds things that matter, not funds women's pockets. A lot of these women in these so-called countries, so-called poor countries, their education is funded, but their extracurricular activities isn't. So if they fuck up, and they gotta deal with the consequences.
It's a first-time order on the Domino's app, March 27th to April 2nd.
Experience Boost is amazing. My FICO score went up 14 points.
Install the Chime app today.
In this video, I'll report on whether or not Bo will explain her side of this breakup story between her current ex-boyfriend Marwa. For those that don't know, Bo is a YouTuber and graphic designer who spent much of last year traveling as a couple with Marwa. But in a sudden twist, she broke up with a popular travel YouTuber while they spent time together in Mozambique in December of last year. Recently, Marwa posted a long live stream stating his reasons for the breakup, but Bo has not made a video as of yet giving her side of the story. However, not long ago, she teased on her Instagram about finally explaining her side of the situation in a video by posting this. Her story reads, "Well, maybe I can't just move on without talking about what has happened from my side." She asks, "Should I talk about it?" Another post reads, "But it's gonna be the whole story from the start that has built me up to this point. Are you ready for this epic?" Within the Instagram story Q&A, Bo shared some interesting revelations about her time traveling with Marwa. Okay, guys, so that was some deep revelations, very interesting revelations that Bo put forth out on Instagram. And to be honest with you, a lot of it was very interesting. But to me, the question and answer that stood out the most was when somebody asked, "Why exactly did you break up?" And Bo responded that she was tired, or she said, I'm tired. And to me, that really stood out just because, traveling, especially when you're traveling and that's how you make money.
And this ain't the only time. See, unlike Austin Holleman and all these like fake ass passport dudes, I actually know the history. I know the traveling dude's stories. Like, I know these things. And it's not faking it. It's not, I didn't just become passport OG. I didn't just say, oh, it's got popular. I've been into this shit for a very long time. You see the music that I listen to. I'm not faking this shit. So that was the situation with him and this other girl. So this is her right here. And pretty much, she ain't really that popping no more. I forgot where she's from. But I think he met her. Yeah, she's from Thailand. So basically, a passport bro who don't call himself a passport bro got played by a Thailand girl. Doesn't sound familiar, but she was more better than Kate. She wasn't a working girl. So let's show another girl that he had. Another girl. So your boy, he pretends like he's this player, but he's paying a lot of women, right? So you see his lifestyle, and he be selling his lifestyle to everybody. But every time he with a girl, she plays him. So this girl right here, I'm with Manuela. This girl right here played the living shit out of him in Colombia. So she was his walk around girl. And this is what game gets you, right? Based off what I know, this girl approached him and made him feel like a god. She was banging him and doing all that stuff. And he didn't pay a lot of money to be with her. She wasn't a working girl. But and I knew what she was doing. She had a guy who couldn't do none of this for her. So the guy pretty much was like, I know you sleeping with this dude. I don't care. You can have another life. You can have an expensive life with the foreigner. A lot of, and this is the shit that a lot of these dumb fuckers don't talk about, is that a lot of men will let you alleviate the pressure off of them. As long as you don't take these women from them. They don't mind sharing their women. You should hear stories about traveling bros going to Europe and France and Germany where they're banging people's wives and girlfriends. And the husband doesn't care. And some of these guys aren't doing it right there. A lot of these dudes from Dominican Republic, Brazil, Colombia, a lot of these dudes want their wives. They got enough women to go around. So they'll let their wife go out with a foreigner. You bang her out and do all this stuff and everything else. It's just, you won't. This girl had a boyfriend already. The boyfriend told her that you could have as much fun as you possibly can with the foreigner. And I think he thought the guy was going to try to come at him. Let's see in the comment sections real quick. So now she does movies now. So a lot of men overseas, where it's not talked about, is that they don't have this "that's our women" mindset. They gotta, I'm sick of this girl. I want better women. I want another woman. So you can bang her all you want. Because they want to go move on. They move on to another girl. Or they let their wife, so they don't have to sexually satisfy their wife. They let other men sexually satisfy their wife. Oh my God. Your boy, your boy, oh man, your boy end up being played by a girl who now in porn now. Wow. Let's she's a porn ad. Her name is, yep. She ready. 3 years down the line, still doing it fresh. You pay these girls or what to be liked. Okay, what else? So many fake laughs and blainness, blah. She does not have a mind. A girl in love with me. Once I was younger and handsome, she was very clingy. Myra and Barons. This is kryptonite. So, pretty much, 3 years later, this chick that he did a video with is a corner star. Like I said before, I know my fucking history. I know my history when it's coming to this traveling stuff. I can go to other guys who was fighting and they got played by some girls, and I can know some guys that are still with the women they met overseas. Now, this dude right here thought he had a gym with her. He was like, man, she's a better.
Actualiza tu información de contacto hoy con Pennsylvania Medical Assistance.
Try Wawa's new panini, buffalo chicken paired with creamy mac and cheese. Gotta have a Wawa.
Pero más, hay más bazuqueros que grafitis. Primero que estás haciendo mucha hambre.
Like I said before. It'd be funny if we see Kate in some adult films. And then you know your boy Auston Holleman paid for it. Alright? But it happens. But it's better for you to pay for it instead of thinking you can game your way into it, because 9 times out of 10 these women has been gamed on. They've been gamed on by a bunch of men since their whole life. There's a lot of countries right now where women were assaulted when they were kids. I mean, when they were apples. And they know the game. You can't game women. You can't game women and get and use swag and shit. That shit doesn't impress them. They want tangible. They want an experience. That's the whole point when you travel, for the experience. The girl won't do anything to you. If she really care about you and you connect with her, she gonna make sure she gonna hold on to that situation. And that's a tip for every traveling guy. Make a good impression. You go to Japan, make a good impression. Make somebody who they can't live without, or not can't live without. They want to keep you in their life. The goal of you traveling is being the first person in line for the audition, and not being the 18th person or the 100th person in the audition line. Because in America, you're gonna be the 100th person in the line waiting for a role. And when you travel, you'll be the first person up to audition to show who and what you really are about. And you could fall, you could falter. But the fact is, when you travel, you have more agency to fall and fail than you do over here. Because then you'll have an Abba and Preach and all these different fucking idiots making videos about you, about your life. Overseas, this dude had better looking women than her. He took 2 L's on women that he thought liked him. Multiple women that he thought liked him. And they were using him for somebody. I mean, using him for something. He ended up with this chick. She had a boyfriend. That's a comical thing that you got to ask questions when you go overseas. I'll tell you from perspective of my boys in Brazil. He told me straight up, if my girl banging somebody else, I don't care. Because I'm banging other women. He said, we ain't like Americans. We'll let our women bang because we get sick of them at one point. We want them to be sexually satisfied. We just like them. We like their brain. We like, and he said, we like their soul. We like their heart. We like that right here. Some of us really like this girl, but we just can't stand her no more. And we got to miss her for us to want her more. And he said he don't care if some dude do this and do that. Because he said, hey, he'll do the same thing. He said, as long as I got the ability to sleep with other women, I'm never mad at my girl sleeping with other men. Because I know she sleep with other men. As long as she ain't trying to set me up, and as long as she ain't bringing nothing back to me. A lot of men like that. A lot of these guys overseas. There's some guys who are possessive. They won't tolerate that shit. That's why a lot of these guys overseas are more likely to take their own life after a breakup than men over here. That shit is skyrocketing overseas. And that's the reason why a lot of women like foreigner men, because we ain't as possessive. A lot of the foreigner men who going overseas for so-called women and better women, we treat them 10 times better. We don't beat them. We don't do like this. They leave us. They dump us. We bounce. We don't put our hands on them. We don't do none of that. They men, I can tell you right now, worldwide, men treat women like absolute garbage. Beat them and everything else for the smallest fucking things. And they take them out for the smallest things. Oh, you flirt with that guy? Hey, I'll break up with her. We done. You flirting with guys? We done. But guys overseas, she get thrown off a roll or some shit. It's insane what happens overseas. There's a reason why there's a what kind of said? There's a reason why there's a ton of men going overseas, because the men ain't appreciate the women they have, or something happened and American put their politics. America disturbed the country and fucked up the dating scene for a country. So the men don't trust the women like that. And the men don't trust the women like that. And you got a lot of women out there. Or the men are so harsh on the women's looks. So if a guy go overseas, you might get with the girl who is considered the ugly girl. But if you bring her overseas and you put her against some of these women over here, she's a supermodel. That's the whole point people don't talk about. A Selma Hayek is not a good looking woman if she goes overseas. She's just notable. One of my favorite pop stars in Brazil, Amida. She is most famous porn star, famous pop star in Brazil. Guess what? There's women that look 10 times better than her. Right? There's a different system that you have to go overseas. There's a whole ecosystem of understanding that you have to do when you go overseas. And you have to escape yourself from situations. Austin Holleman didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He didn't understand that feminism was a huge thing. But he would have never got that heat if he would have stayed the fuck off TikTok. If he wasn't saying nan and the boo boo to these women, they would have never called in their card to get a feminist on her side, because she's a paid person. She's paid to go after certain people. I try to go contact a couple people from Brazil, and they told me straight away she don't talk about certain issues. She get paid off to talk about certain issues and political stuff and go after certain political people. Just like here. Like, if I can go, the Stephanie Bergaro chick, she's lusting after basketball players now. American basketball players. Not soccer players, but American basketball players. She want some guys from the Lakers. But your boy Austin Holleman, man. Stop. Here's a tip. If you're gonna make things, make it undesirable to Pookies. If you're gonna make something great, make it undesirable to them so they don't want to try it and do it. Or put a whole bunch of rules and regulation for them to have to follow before they even enter in your stuff. Just like SYSBM. Shout out to Mad Bus Driver. Shout out to Verbs. Shout out to SKC, even though he's, always in the middle of fucking relationship talk. When they made that tenant, it was hard for people to come in and infiltrate SYSBM. You had people trying to co-op it, do all this, and guess what? It didn't work. He was smart about it. Black men, if you make something up, you make some rules, tenets, but you make it undesirable to these fuckboys, so they don't pick up your shit and fuck it up and ruin it. Or they'll do just like what Austin Holleman did. You create something good for brothers, for a certain amount of brothers, and then these guys come in and co-op it, fuck it up, give it a bad name, and throw it on the trash, and then you have to deal with the problems because of what these people did.